In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 Italian horror movies. It seems like these older Italian horror movies are kind of experiencing a resurgence in popularity, so I figured I'd do a video showing people where they should start if they've never seen any of these kinds of movies before. And before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you to those who have subbed, liked, and commented so far. It really means a lot and helps motivate me to put out more content. So if you want to see more videos, please like and subscribe. And now onto the video. Coming in at number 5, we have A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. So I just want to begin by saying this isn't some kind of sci-fi movie about a reptilian alien invasion or anything like that. This is a 1971 giallo horror movie directed by Lucio Fulci. This film is about a woman who becomes a suspect after her neighbor is brutally murdered, and at the same time, she experiences hallucinations relating to the murder, and she starts to believe that she may be involved in some way. This is probably the most unique giallo that I've seen so far. It has a pretty good amount of gore for the time and type of movie that it is, although it's not as gory as The Beyond or New York Ripper. This story is done very well, and the mystery aspect kept my interest until the very end. This is a must-watch for both fans of Fulci's work and giallo movies in general. In the number 4 spot, we have Suspiria. Suspiria is directed by Dario Argento and written by Daria Nicolodi and Dario Argento. The film is about an American ballet student named Susie Banyan who travels to Germany to study ballet at a dance school. Soon after she arrives, strange events begin to occur and she starts to uncover the secrets of the school. This is one of the best looking horror movies that I've ever seen. This Blu-ray is the Synapse 4K restoration, and along with my Blu-ray player's 4K upscaling capabilities, the picture quality looks phenomenal. It is a massive upgrade compared to the DVD. The real star of this movie is, of course, the colors, and the colors he used and the way he used them to express the mood of each scene is brilliant. Also, the wallpapers seen in many of the rooms are also designed brilliantly and look spectacular. The soundtrack provided by the rock band Goblin is one of the best of any horror movie, in my opinion. The only thing in this movie that could be seen as a negative is the simplicity of the story. Ballet student travels to Germany, weird events happen, and she starts to learn what's causing the weird events to occur. The acting is also off at certain points, but besides that, there's not really much else to critique, in my opinion. The opening kill is probably my favorite of any Argento movie, and in my opinion, the movie is successful in being a modern horror fairy tale. Coming in at number 3, we have Tenebrae. Tenebrae is known for being Dario Argento's most violent film. Tenebrae is about a well-known author and how his most recent book inspires a series of killings that eventually put the author and those close to him in danger. This movie is technically a giallo movie in that it has all the classic elements that a giallo should have. So although Tenebrae is technically a giallo, I personally see it as more of a slasher movie. I remember watching Tenebrae for the first time and loving everything about it. The story, the soundtrack, the gore, and the cinematography are all well executed. It can be slow during certain points, but it mostly kept my attention and interest in the murder mystery aspect of the movie. In the number 2 spot, we have Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. This is the first movie that I watched that is directed by Lucio Fulci, and it is the second film in Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy, along with City of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery. The Beyond is about a woman named Liza who inherits an old hotel that just so happens to be built on one of the 7 gateways to hell. I don't really know where to begin with this movie. I guess I'll begin by saying this is one of the goriest movies of the 80s. From faces being melted off to spiders gouging eyes out, this movie truly pulls no punches. This was also one of the first Italian horror movies that I've ever seen, and honestly, I've never seen a movie since that really compares to it. The theme to this movie has this kind of laid-back and chill feeling, while at the same time sounding powerful. The atmosphere is also off the charts. There is a constant feeling of uneasiness when viewing the movie. It's unpredictable to the point where you just accept what you're watching and hope it makes sense by the end. I thought the story was very confusing after the first few watches. I had to look up the plot of the story online after watching it just to try to make some sense of it, kind of like when you wake up from a dream and try to remember what you just dreamt about. But that's one of the reasons why I love watching this movie. It has supernatural elements, it has gore, it has zombies. There's just a lot to like about this movie. Finally, in the number one spot, we have Deep Red. Deep Red was released in 1975 and is directed by Dario Argento. This film is about a musician who witnesses the murder of a psychic. During the investigation, he meets a reporter, and they eventually work together to help find the identity of the killer. In my opinion, Deep Red is the closest thing to giallo perfection. I know some people would probably say it's Blood and Black Lace, and I get that. Blood and Black Lace is without a doubt a classic, but there are parts to Deep Red that I just love more. I love the setting and the cinematography. There are so many shots that look phenomenal, even occasionally mimicking well-known works of art. The cinematography is great and is done in a way that is intended to make the viewer feel uncomfortable and subvert their expectations. The characters portrayed by David Hemmings and Daria Nicolodi are my personal favorite from any Argento movie. The soundtrack by the band Goblin is one of the best horror movie soundtracks. There are certain scenes that have no dialogue, and in the place of dialogue is the soundtrack, which fits perfectly. The kills in Deep Red are very creative. Argento put a lot of thought in filming the kills and violence in a way that the viewer can somewhat relate to, such as chipping a tooth or getting burned by hot water. The end credit sequence is shocking. It happens so quick, and the next thing you know, the credits start rolling, and I just love how it gives the viewer little time to prepare and process what's happening in front of them. Definitely check out Deep Red. And this has been my top 5 Italian horror movies. What are some of your favorite Italian horror movies? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.